Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome back. This is Mitch here over at White Sox Fan Card Collector. I recently got a few purchases that I'm going to be showing off over the course of the next couple of days that I would kind of consider to be special purchases, adding to my collection, including a card that I got from my, it was a card that I really wanted since I was a kid. And I was able to pick it up this past week, so I'm happy to be able to kind of show it to you in a minute. But did just want to kind of congratulate, unfortunately, the Chicago Bears of getting the #1 draft pick. It's been a long, difficult road being a Bears fan since 1985 after they won the championship. And I think this is another sad chapter in it, but hopefully this draft pick will actually yield a group of players or a #1 draft choice or something that's really going to help them going forward into the future. So just wanted to say that quickly. And let me turn around the camera and show you. It's going to be a real quick video. And we'll just briefly talk about why this card was important to me. All right, so a little more of a simplistic background again tonight, guys, because I wanted to be able to kind of highlight one card in particular. As you can probably see, based on the one card I put in the background, it is Cal Ripken Jr. Cal Ripken Jr. was my favorite baseball player as a kid. My favorite White Sox player was Frank Thomas, but who preceded that as my favorite baseball player was Cal Ripken. And I often kind of ask why in my mind, like, why did I pick Cal Ripken as my favorite player? I think it had something to do with him being a very popular player at the time when I was growing up in the 80s, but also, I had an early connection with Brooks Robinson because I was able to get autographs of his because my dad knew his secretary. So I kind of like made a connection that way in some ways, and like, okay, Baltimore is a cool team. They got great players. Who's their best player? And I started collecting cards somewhere around that time too. And Cal Ripken had all-star cards, and I'm like, okay, Cal Ripken's actively playing, and he just became my favorite player thereafter. And I had a big player collection of his back in the late 80s, early 90s that I've since kind of moved on. And I've been slowly kind of like just picking up some key cards from him thereafter, but I'm not aggressively like pursuing him like I am some other players in my collection. But I've always wanted his 82 Topps traded card. I've approached it a few times over the years and got close to purchasing it, including even over at the 2019 National, and decided the price that I was quoted at that point wasn't what I wanted to pay. Lo and behold, it was also PSA 7, like you see here. I ended up paying more for this one, not much more than what I could have paid that day for it, but that's just kind of the way the things go, right? But again, this card's really important to me just because I never had it as a kid. It was always too expensive for me as a kid to be able to pick up. I'm surprised I waited this long to be able to pick it up, honestly, for my collection, but I'm very happy to have this card in my collection as well as an autograph from Cal Ripken. I went to many games over the years. I think I saw the Orioles every year they were here in Chicago playing the Chicago White Sox, and I always tried to be able to get his autograph. I had a baseball, I would have cards, and I was always unsuccessful in being able to get it. I went to his very, very last game here in Comiskey Park, I think it was still known at the time, back in 2001. He had already announced that he was going to retire, and I remember it really well. I was there with my dad, and I was there with my brother-in-law at that point too. There may have been a fourth person with us, but I can't remember at the time. But it was also a game where they gave out some commemorative bobbleheads that I've kind of shown on the show here too. So I remember the bobblehead that I got that day at the thing. It was a Magdalene Ordonez bobblehead, which I thought was pretty cool. And I've later since gotten the two others that go with it, which was Frank Thomas and also Paul Konerko. But I've never had this card in my collection. I'm really happy to be able to pick it up. It's an 82 Topps traded. In there, it's one of his 4 rookie cards, the one that's probably the most coveted in the happy and probably most recognizable too, I would say. And I think most people would agree with it. So that is what I have to show you tonight, guys. Stay on lookout for a few more videos coming up because I got some other really cool stuff to show you. And I'm going to kind of go a little bit more into depth into one video about the 3 players that are going to be captured in that video. So looking forward to be able to put that video together. That's probably going to come this weekend. And then possibly the next one is going to be my big purchase, which is kind of more like a grail card for me. So I'm happy to be able to kind of show that one pretty soon. So again, feel free to leave me some comments if you want. Let me know what some of your key cards that you wanted to get as a child, or you want a child but you couldn't afford, but now you as an adult, or ones that you're still targeting from your childhood. I would love to hear it in the comments. Have a great night, guys, and we will see you later this week.